guys, so this card is mainly inspired by Amy R, who is Prairie Paper and Ink here on YouTube, and gosh, a while back she did some cards on craft cardstock where she white embossed and colored it in with colored pencils, so I wanted to try that because I just loved how that looked. And so here I'm using the image Uptown Girl Paisley Has a Prezzie by Stamping Bella. I stamped it out in Versamark ink on craft cardstock from Simon Says Stamp, and then I used white detail embossing powder and heat set that. And I wanted her to hold a pumpkin rather than a present because the theme for Jamie's monthly challenge is a fall themed or a back to school card or project, and I don't have a pumpkin stamp, so what I ended up doing is use my Cricut and the Create a Critter cartridge, and on page 70 there is an image of a pumpkin, and I cut that out on orange cardstock. And then what I plan on doing is kind of cut a little slit above her hand so it looks like her little hands are holding the pumpkin. And then the way I got the lines on the pumpkin to give it that shape is I used a Versamark pen a couple of times, and then I used the white embossing powder again and then heat set that, and that's how I got those little lines. And then I went over with Spectrum Noir alcohol markers to add some shading. And then here I'm using my brand new Spectrum Noir colored pencils. I got the Essentials set because it has lots of like skin colors, and I don't have skin colored type colored pencils or watercolor pencils. Not that these are watercolors, but I just don't have skin colored pencils. And so I wanted the set because it has a lot of the natural colors. And I'm using the the purple is the number 039, and then for the skin color I think I use 003 or 005, and then the hair is 095. That's the brown that I used. And here I'm cutting that slit just above the hands, and I'm tucking that pumpkin in. Excuse me. And I'm going to pick a paper from the Bo Bunny Autumn Song collection, and you can see I was going to make it sort of a tag shape, but then I changed my mind later on. You'll see I cut it down a little bit more and decided to angle all four corners, and I did distress all the edges of the background paper and that little tag or whatever you want to call it at this point. I distressed it with Vintage Photo, and here I'm figuring out how to do this ribbon. I'm trying a new setup with my camera, and I wanted to zoom in a little closer so you could see, but what ended up happening is a lot of the stuff ended up being out of frame or my hand was in the way, so I kind of lost. I had to edit out the footage of me making the ribbon because it really wasn't in frame anyway, and you just couldn't see anything. But what I did is I ended up folding it kind of back and forth on top of itself and then fanning it out a little bit, and then I stapled it, and here you see me hot gluing it to the back of that tag shape, for lack of a better word. I'm gonna call it a tag. And so there was probably an easier way to do this, but I thought of it later, and once you hot glue is not very forgiving. You'll tear the paper, so I had to just kind of go with it. And I did have to put it on foam dots because that ribbon is pretty bulky. The ribbon is some kind of organza ribbon. I picked it up in the dollar section at Michael's probably last year sometime. So yeah, it's very, the hot glue, you got to be careful with it because you know you don't want to burn your fingers or anything like that. So yeah, here you just see me kind of fussing and trying to get the ribbon around a matte or background paper. And then I'm being very, very generous with the ATG. I really want to make sure it sticks, and I decided to put the ATG glue on the actual card base because at this point it was just too bulky to do it on the background paper. And then at this point I'm choosing the sentiment, the Hello sentiment from the TPC Studio stamp set, and I'm going to use this bronzy brown embossing powder that I've had, and that is my card for the challenge and for today. So please like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you so much for watching, and have a blessed crafty day. Bye.